Hi, everyone. Welcome. How are you doing today? How was your week? Bentley's laying over here in his little bed right here. So maybe he'll make an appearance. We'll see. I know he's the best thing of the show, right? All right. So we're going to talk today about how laughter is the best medicine. Though my personal opinion, I believe animal therapy is. I think you all may agree with me on that. I hope you would. Um, but let's talk about the science behind it. Um, Laughter can actually help with stress reduction. It directly impacts the body's stress response. It decreases the level of cortisol while stimulating circulations and increasing oxygen intake. It is also a mood booster. It triggers the release of endorphins. It also stimulates serotonin production, plays a crucial role in regulating mood, sleep, appetite, and cognitive function. It can improve cardiovascular health, enhancing blood circulation, and oxygen delivery to vital organs. It can improve perspective. It can help create a psychological distance from problems, allowing you to see challenges, situations in a less threatening and more manageable light. Um, I, to me, I look at that as I'm one of these people, or I guess another way to look at it, I'm one of these people. You can ask my husband if something like is going on with one of our dogs, our test level, something doesn't come back that's right on any of the tests that we do. My first thing is like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? And then we'll build back from there. So what's the worst case scenario that could this mean for? And then, okay, then what else could it be? And at that point, like, I feel like I'm ready for anything, and anything less than the worst case scenario is a good outcome or a good prognosis for the most part. And then it's how are we going to handle, like, what can we do for this? To me, I'm all about finding solutions. How are we going to be able to handle this? And so sometimes when you have, like, when you look at laughter, you can, it just helps you be able to process and handle challenges better. That's just me. Do what works for you. You may have something that you do already that works for you. If not, try that. That's just kind of, I'm always one of these people. If you have a plan B or C, a lot of times you don't need the plan B or C. So, which is always a good thing. But anyways, just, like I said, if you have something that works for you, do it. If not, try it. That's what this is for, is to figure out what are you doing that is already working and that helps you prevent and work through burnout. But also, like, if you're not doing these things, then here are ideas of things that can help you, and you can figure out what works best for you. So that's the whole concept of this. All right. Then you also have enhanced resilience. So the laughter enhances resilience. So by improving your mood, reducing stress, fostering creativity, laughter can increase your resilience and your ability to bounce back from challenges. It also can help with social connection. So sharing laughter with others strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of belonging, which can buffer against feelings of loneliness and isolation. And that's according to Newport Academy. A lot of times, I know that you all don't feel like other people don't understand what you're going through in your profession. And sometimes they don't. Like, I've seen it with my husband. I've seen it with with his family, like not with him, he obviously, but like I've seen like with his family how they don't understand what he's going through. I've seen it with some of our friends, and so and sometimes it makes you feel isolated. And then that doesn't help with your burnout. It doesn't help with your thoughts and things that go through your mind. And so sharing laughter with people, it helps you feel like that, hey, this person understands what I'm going through. I'm not the only one here feeling this. And a lot of times we just need that confirmation that we're not the only one going through this. So also remember, not everyone understands or appreciate dark humor, and be mindful of your audience. Now, as long as I know my husband and the little bit of time that I actually worked in the veterinary community, I know you guys have a dark sense of humor. I have a dark sense of humor from other things that I have been through in my life. So it was also refreshing when I met my husband, which one I met, we're friends. He had a dark sense of humor. With that, it actually, him and my mom developed this great friendship because of his sense of humor, or both of their sense of humors. And so sometimes you need that dark sense of humor to get through what you all are dealing with. So that's understandable. I know, as far as like be mindful of your audience, I feel like just about everybody in the veterinary community, if they know, if they truly, like if they've been there and truly sees what goes on, they develop a dark sense of humor. I would say be mindful of people who aren't in the veterinary community. With that, be mindful with people, like if you have clients that are visiting their animals, or even with clients, be mindful of that for that, because they may not appreciate that. And I feel like you really don't want to initiate that dark sense of humor. So yes, so I say be mindful of your audience. Also, so figure out like what makes you laugh. Is it movies, shows, podcasts? God knows there's a number of them that are coming. YouTube videos. Again, there's a number of them out there. More coming. Books, like a specific comedian. What works for you. Family member, friend, and what works for you. And you want to find humor in, or like your mishaps. You want to find humor in your mishaps as well, and use that as a coping mechanism. Make jokes about the challenges you are facing. So again, this can help you find humor in difficult situations and relieve stress. Like I always say, hey, I'm dealing with the case of the Mondays. Like if things start, going wrong, like first thing in the morning, it's one thing after another. And I'm just like, oh, great. I have a case of the Mondays, so just don't mind me. Like, and just kind of, you set the tone and people kind of laugh, and it just helps you get through a day, because you're just kind of having your mind like, okay, things are going to happen today that don't normally happen, right? They typically happen on Monday after you've had a couple of days off or whatever, or your first day back at work. You've been off for a few days or a week or vacation. You go back to work, and it's just like you're just trying to get your wheels turning, get things going. And so, and I just turned, I was like, you know what, guys, I'm having a case of the Mondays. Just please forgive me, and just go on. So anything else that happens for the rest of the day, I just laugh it off, or people kind of expect it and don't think I'm crazy. But that's me. or always say, like, my thing is, Murphy's Law, where it's always the unexpected that happens, or the thing that you least suspected is going to happen. So I always say Murphy is my best friend and make that joke, because I'm like, because you know what? I always have, like, the least suspected things that don't normally happen will happen to me. So it's like, yeah, Murphy's my, sometimes like, yeah, Murphy's my best friend. Don't, whatever. And just play it off. And that's like, it just helps you put yourself in that mindset to be able to get through just about anything that day, and not stress over it, not, do any of that. So, because again, when you start stressing, that works on your immune system, which in turn can cause you to be sick and you have to miss work. But also, when you're missing work, you're missing pay. You're also, depending on how close you are to your work colleagues, you're stressing that you're just adding more to them, because unfortunately you're in a industry that is so short staffed, and from veterinarians to technicians to assistants, that the last study has shown is going to be 30 years for you to even catch up. And so, you're stressing over all of that because you called out sick. And so my point being, going off on my whole tangent here, is that, you need to find ways, like finding ways to, to deal with your difficulties. So, I know some situations aren't funny, aren't to laugh about, or nor is there a way to find laughter in it. Or it may take a little bit for you to find laughter in it, in that case. But, just think of it and utilize it as something to help you get through a difficult day. Granted, I know not all situations it would be helpful, but for the situations that it is. And with that, you also want to make sure you surround yourself with people who make you laugh. So whether it's your friends, family members, coworkers, a comedian that you're listening to, a book you're reading, a movie you're watching, like, surround yourself with that laughter, because that will help you get through. And with that, remember, you have NOMV, Lifeboat with NOMV, not one more vet. If you need a peer-to-peer to talk to, that I think it's a great program, even just to sign up to have somebody to, chat with, run things by, or whatever. Remember, they're gonna keep it someone within your field. So, in other words, if you're a large breed veterinarian, they're going to put you in with people, large breed veterinarians. So within your field. So remember, the first time you reach out, it takes roughly up to 72 hours for them to reach back out to you. After that, anytime after that, once you're put into a group, it'll take 24 hours. Within 24 hours, someone will reach out to you. So you have Lifeboat with NOMV, and then you can also text home to 741-741 if you need someone to talk to. All right. And I'm going to leave you with this quote from Norm Cousins. He says, "He who laughs last." All right. So then, take care of yourself. Please know that you are wanted, you are loved. You would be truly missed if you were not here. What you do is great. Helping the animals is appreciative. Not everyone can do your job. All right. So that makes you special that you can do that. All right. So then, we'll see you next week. Bye.